Got some new weapons with Ash and Iron, and there was one in particular that I really wanted to get. It's also part of a new interaction with an old weapon. It got the Together Forever perk to pair with Sturm. I grinded and grinded, I got exactly what I wanted. It's a tier 5, and I can show you the thought process behind it of what I was looking for, break it all down, and talk about the things you would want on it. And at the making of this video, I'm sure you've seen or heard all the chaos that Sturm's unleashing in PvE. No doubt it's going to get changed, disabled, whatever. If you have an overcharge with Sturm and have it out, it allows your abilities to do pretty much 4 times damage. Abuse it while you can. Bungie's bringing back some of those paired weapons. Might is the other. And for Sturm, along with Drang, they've added Unfall, an arc rocket sidearm. Together Forever, we have the micro missiles, but also final blows of this weapon reload and overflow a bonus damage round to Sturm. This is a great weapon. Most of you aren't going to pair it with Sturm, and that's totally fine. It stands on its own. If you do pair it with Sturm, it has some synergy. It's the second arc rocket sidearm. We have Unfall and Indebted Kindness. Fortunately, they're very different with what you can do with them. Unfall is a world drop, and you're going to see it rotating in playlists from time to time as the extra bonus drop. That way you can focus farm it. And running the new Reclaim activity has a decent chance for it to drop. That's where I got all mine. Its origin trait is Vanguard Determination. I like this one. After using your class ability, final blows with this weapon grant you bonus damage resistance. Use your class ability, it stacks it 3 times, 2%, 4%, and then 6% damage resist. And all you have to do is use your class ability. Within 20 seconds, you start getting your stacks with your downs. For the perks, I'm going to be talking about the enhanced versions of them because that's important. Go through them and talk about how they fit with this weapon. And the third, we have Reverberation. Get it down, gets the blast radius to 100 for 6 seconds. It's not bad. Impulse Amplifier, I believe it's top tier. I've always liked this on rocket sidearms. Greatly increased travel velocity, and it also gives you 25 reload speed and an 8.5 reload duration multiplier. So a very, very fast reload. Not many people think about that when it comes to Impulse Amplifier. And altogether, it allows the shot to get to the target faster, meaning it's better at a distance, better up close. There's a faster reload. It's an awesome perk for it. And we have Lead from Gold. One of the best perks for it, especially with how they've done the ammo generation system. Picking up heavy ammo grants you 35% of your maximum special ammo reserves, and you can even pick it up when the weapon is stowed. It's going to give it to you. So when you have your ammo generation up, you're getting a whole bunch of bricks, maybe a heavy ammo finder, tons of scalars. You're getting special ammo pretty quick. I mean, if you use Sturm, that has an 80 ammo generation stat. It's really good. You put on a chest mod, it'll make it 100. But you're going to get bricks very quickly, and a lot of the time, on the same enemy, you're going to get a heavy and a special brick to drop, because the heavy ammo generation is double of the special. So say it takes 5 kills to get a special brick, it'll take 10 to get a heavy. But when you grab those bricks, it keeps it fed. It's great by itself, but if you build in this ammo generation system, it is great on this thing. It allows you to main it, run around with it, and use it a ton. Sleight of Hand, this is an old raid perk. It stacks it 3 times, get a kill while this weapon is stowed to gain a stack. There's 3 stacks, it lasts for 3.5 seconds, but when you ready the weapon, it activates a stack of Sleight of Hand. It's an 8.5 second duration, 30 handling, 30 reload, 30 stability, and I think this perk just needs a buff or a rework. And it isn't really needed if you run it with Sturm, because part of Sturm's deal now is that final blows with bonus damage rounds build and store charges that allow you to stow Sturm and Together Forever weapons at a massively increased rate. It is very good. Go between Sturm and this rocket sidearm. So the perk built into Sturm with a Together Forever weapon is kind of like Sleight of Hand, just fast, but they do stack. It goes even faster. I don't think it's necessary though. The Together Forever, the Sturm interaction, they're meant to switch between one another, because another part of Together Forever is you get a kill with Sturm, it overflows the magazine for the sidearm. It'll get up to 20 rounds or whatever. Then you switch to the sidearm, get 3 or 4 kills. It overflows the Sturm magazine and gives it the bonus damage rounds. It'd be more so for if you didn't have Sturm equipped. It still works, but honestly, you would need a very specific build for it to even consider using it over other options. Beacon rounds, and there are some true believers of beacon rounds on a sidearm. It makes them good at a distance, makes it good for those enemies that try to sidestep at the last minute. You get final blows with it, you get stacks of beacon rounds, max of 4 stacks. Gives you 15 reload speed, a 0.9 reload multiplier, better tracking. Same but different from Impulse Amplifier. I prefer Impulse Amplifier, but beacon rounds isn't terrible. And then finally in this column, we have Disruption Break, and I am all over this. This is a rare perk nowadays, almost a forgotten perk. Break a combatant shield, they get debuffed. Your kinetic weapons deal 50% more damage for 5.5 seconds. And it's a debuff across the game's history that's never been touched. It's one of the best debuffs, 50%. It's no joke. And in Sturm's case, that goes with those overcharge rounds. Like right here, the base damage is 136. With Disruption Break, it's 204, 50% more. A Sturm overcharge round deals 516, and that's the new 280% on this class of enemy, but Disruption Break with the overcharge is 773. It 2-taps these guys, opposed to base taking 11, I believe. So 11 compared to 2, and 773 is a total of 468% more damage than base, and that's just Sturm. This is one of the better combos for Sturm, but it's any weapon that you see fit, any kinetic that you see fit gives that 50% more damage. Like Outbreak is a prime example. Even the nanites get it. Or maybe Revision 0, get the sniper mode, that has 50% more. There's a ton you can do. Kinetic Tremors works. It makes your kinetic weapons hit very heavy, and more on this perk later with pairings. And the last column, Rolling Thunder, and unfortunately it's one of the only things I can't show you. I don't have one with it, but it doesn't look bad. Final blows, add clear, get bolt charge, consume bolt charge, keep going. So the bolt charge builds, arc subclass, it's something that will call to you if you're into it. Definitely get it if you have a build for it. But then we have jolting feedback, and my opinion, the best perk in the last column. It takes 4 shots to proc jolting feedback with this thing enhanced. You do that, it applies jolt to the target. That means it has built-in overload, and that's really good on a legendary weapon. It hits hard, you go target to target, even adds. The 4th one will place jolt and just keep clearing from there. On BV targets, you place the jolt on them and go about your DPS rotation. It's great, nothing bad to say. And it's the only sidearm with this perk, and only rocket sidearm for sure, opposed to, let's say, Volt Shot on Indebted Kindness. More on this later. We have Deconstruct. Once a great perk, now it's kind of midline. Different things counts as constructs, turrets, vehicles. You're gonna get some ammo thrown back, 10% from your reserves. There's better options. One for all, this is pure damage, hit 3 separate enemies within 3 seconds, 35% more damage for 11 seconds. Not a bad thing to say about this one either. You just would have it on an arc rocket sidearm. There's multiple rocket sidearms that have it, but this is the only arc one. Binary Orbit, I really like this perk. Elemental Final Blows opposite this weapon increase damage. This is an arc weapon, so kinetic stasis or strand kills give you this perk. Once active, it has 25% more damage for 10.5 seconds. Really, really easy perk trigger. It's literally better harmony. And it works well on a special weapon, like take this roll, Disruption Break, Binary Orbit. We'll pair it with Sturm as an example. Use Disruption Break to break the shield, switch over, 50% more damage on Sturm. Even better if you have the overcharge shot, you down that enemy. Well, when you switch back to Unfall, it has 25% more damage to break shields faster or add clear. I think it's a great perk for it. Then Master of Arms. Any weapon kill grants Master of Arms ×1 for 8 seconds, get another kill, goes to ×2 for 5 seconds, then it decays down into Master of Arms 1 for 15. So ×1 stack is 15% more damage, ×2 is 25%, so it's kind of a rolling perk. Get downs, you can proc it with itself, proc it with your heavy weapon, your primary. You're always gonna have 15 or 25%, not a bad perk. For the magazine, there's traditional mag options, flared magwell, things like that, but also rocket mags like high explosive ordnance, implosion rounds, and ideally, you're gonna want high explosive ordnance first. But if you land a good combo, you're gonna fit out best available. Like mine's flared magwell. I've always really enjoyed that magazine. It's the most stats possible on a mag. On the barrel, you're gonna be looking for velocity and blast radius. For the combinations, there's 2 that really stand out to me. Unfortunately, I have them on my tier 5 roll. First, Disruption Break, jolting feedback. Why this? It really is a tale of 2 perks that do separate things and do them very well. A lot of people use these sidearms for add clear. Jolting feedback's great for that, but we have this added utility of Disruption Break. One side, the jolting feedback, flat out awesome. Say there's an overload champion in front of you, you don't need to get it down, reload like Volt Shot, you just shoot. Jolt, stun, get into your damage. That damage has the benefit of jolt with it. Then we have Disruption Break. In a lot of activities, there are, and will be, beefy yellow bars. Even in Reclaim, there's a ton of them. A lot of them have void shields, some are arc, and it doesn't have to be with Sturm. Again, one of my favorites has been Outbreak. You can clear with Unfall, use that. Once you see one of these shields, even a void shield, tap it down. When you break that shield, Disruption Break is active, then rip into them with Outbreak, 50% more damage. You could use Sturm, Kvostov, and remember if you're running Prismatic, Kvostov or Outbreak is one of the best kinetic weapons for gaining Transcendence with Prismatic, especially if you have on the Fragment for kinetic weapons. The Tremors will deal 50% more damage to them and the area around them. There's a ton of utility. It's kind of an all-in-one deal. 2 separate things that the weapon does, and there's times where both of the things will come together. And something like this gets better when your teammates also have Outbreak or Huckleberry, whatever kinetic that they're using. And the next one is Lead from Gold jolting feedback. Just like for a lot of people on Indebted Kindness, Lead for Gold, Volt Shot. If you get a good ammo generation primary, and this isn't bad for a special weapon, a 37 stat, you throw on a couple ammo gen arc mods and you're good to go. Getting the heavy bricks to go with the specials, like I said, ton of ammo. You can main the thing. Jolting feedback, rocks, it's doing its thing. one of the best for it. And I have both. I have that option. There's a ton of shields. I can do Disruption Break. I want to be more ad clear, maining it, lead from gold. We do have 3 options for damage. One for all, Binary Orbit, Master of Arms. All of them are great. And those are going to be paired with the same things. Disruption Break, maybe Impulse Amplifier, or Beacon Rounds, because those are more reload oriented. So you can get your kills, get fast reloads, and keep going. And what's nice about the damage perks for this thing is all of the perk triggers are easy. All of them. Hit 3 targets, one for all. Get a kill with your primary for Binary Orbit. Master of Arms, just down things so you get more damage. And when I was looking at this thing initially and at the end of the review, there's a ton that works. More than likely, you're going to get a combination that will do well. You just need to see what fits your build and start going for specific perks from there. I believe that Jolting Feedback is the main draw to it, and Disruption Break or Lead from Gold. And I think it's a weapon that'll stand the test of time. And what's cool about this is you can build with it or just have it as an arc jolt option, using it with anything that you want. There's a lot to like. It's a world drop. It can be focused when it comes up. So whatever you're looking for, good luck with your RNG. If you're new here, remember to hit the subscribe button. And if you are subscribed, thank you so much for your support. Let's talk about Unfall down below, how it pairs with Sturm, and what roles are you liking? Let's talk about it. Thank you for watching, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.